Welcome everyone to my very first video that I'll upload. I'm Ost Inferno, just Inferno normally. Ost was my previous clan, I always have to clarify that. And I'm going to show you a bit of what I'm doing on World of Tanks. Now you might say, well, Inferno, who are you to tell me what to do? Well, I'm not really anybody. As you can see by my statistics, I've barely got a 50.94 win rate. However, that's because it changed so much in the last couple of months, and I'll show you that. Now obviously, if we look at the guide here, 50 point something statistics is barely adequate, and ideally someone who's good to very good should be teaching you, or above. And people like, for example, Quickie Baby, he's at 67 and above, he's a super unicum. Then you've got Highflyer 15, who's, I think, unicum. You've got Jingles, who's very good to great, and you've got other people, and they're excellent players. No doubt about it, they're much better than I am. I'm not one of the best, certainly not. I just want to point that out if it's not clear to everybody. However, I believe that because I was very bad still a couple of weeks ago, months ago, well, let's say months ago, that you can learn something from me, because I'm just now starting to change my way of thinking. So very quickly, let's have a look at my statistics. Now I've been playing a couple of horrible games these last couple of days. Well, actually they weren't that bad, as you can see by my win 8 rate. They were really good games, and some of them may make it to heartbreaking carries, but I lost a lot of them. And so the last 20 games or so I played, they're really not that good. But if you look at the last 256 games I played, I've actually got a win rate of 55.41%. That's very difficult from the 50.94. Also, it puts me into the very good to, well, maybe great category. Looking down, this again shows the same thing, 53% win rate, 1,560 win 8. Now obviously there are people who are better than me. I'll repeat that again, there are a lot of people who are better than me. I'm never going to dispute that. However, I think that there are some things I can show you, and if you want to watch, then please subscribe to my channel, or just watch the videos however you want that. And also, I'll mention that I have an account on the EU server. I hardly ever played. I played 410 games, and I've got a win rate of 55.85. I don't know, I might continue playing there, but I don't know. Anyway, take a look at some of the graphs. As you can see, my win rate not very long ago was 84.90, and in the 2,800 games or so since I've played, I've risen constantly, and I'm now at nearly 51%. So as you can see, I've been constantly performing better than I used to. And the same is true of my win WN8. I used to start here at 695, which is really bad, and now I'm at 1,111. The same is true of my average damage, it's gone up, and my average experience has gone up as well. So let's take a look at the first gameplay. Now, I'll just explain what I will be doing, and obviously I hope you'll stick around. basically I'll look at some of my good games, very good games sometime, but because I'm not as good as other players, they're not going to be perfect games, which means that you can actually learn something. As the old saying goes, you learn from your mistakes. Now, I'm in my Panzer 1C on Malinovka, and I'm going to go around first in a defensive position. Now what you'll notice here on the right of the screen is I'll put up some messages saying what I think was a good idea, what I think was a bad idea, and what I think was pure luck. Some of you will now say, "Oh, Inferno, nothing's luck when I play." Oh, bollocks. Everything is about luck. How high you roll, how low you roll, if you hit a target, if you don't hit a target, if your ammo is sufficient in hitting critical modules, and so on and so forth. So there is a certain amount of luck involved. Now what I'll be trying is to get the amount of luck needed for a game down, well, to as low as possible. It's not going to be zero, but it's going to be close, I hope. And also, once again, I have to stress, I'm not the best player, certainly not, but I think you can learn something, I hope. So I'm firing at this Panzer 1C, that's a good thing. Panzer 1C doesn't have a lot of armor, and I think I'm hidden by the bushes. Now I spot the anniversary LTP, and that bugger has good enough armor, at least at this range, to bounce everything. Now I fire a couple of shots, it's not really working, so I concentrate on this Vickers medium MK2. And it has paper thin armor, so I go through it immediately. I've got to hope that somebody takes out the LTP. It's really the only tank in this game that I can't penetrate. Now foolishly I take a couple of pot shots at the Panzer 3A, and I shouldn't have done that because here's the Panzer 1C. Also, the Panzer 2A was way too far away from me. I couldn't penetrate it if I wanted to, so that was stupid. Machine guns, that far a distance, you're not gonna hit anything. So I'm driving up to the Panzer 1C, and I'm gonna shoot him right in the arse. And that's ideally how you want to use the Panzer 1C, going up to an enemy and butt-fucking him. Without Woodloo, that's up to you. Now I'm using the speed of the Panzer 1C to get me into position, and probably shouldn't have stopped there. Panzer 38T is far too far away from me, and I decide to move up. I've got to make sure that nobody caps. Here's the enemy Panzer 1C, and I don't have 610, so he's probably spotted me. I'm calling in fire, but noob team that is behind me doesn't do anything. And now I decide to move out. And hello BT7. Now in this situation I auto-aim because I'm firing at his butt once again. As you can see with the Panzer 1C, it's all about the butt sex. And in this situation you can really do that because you can actually hit the butt and penetrate it. Now I shouldn't have stayed there. That was probably the T-57, possibly the Panzer 38T. I finish off the T-82 and I've got to get moving. There we go, boom boom. Now the Panzer 3's right, a lot of tanks aren't doing anything. If you look at the K0 sort of area, there's a lot of tanks doing fuck all. As you can also see, I'm using mod. I'm using a map mod, I'm using a speech mod, and a lot of other things, including what you can see here in the middle, a tank mod, which basically tells you what the enemy tank is, what kind of gun he has, and so on. I think it's used by a lot of people. Yeah, please leave a comment down below if you think I shouldn't use it. I use it now because I'm a crap player. But anyway, this is Locustan's mod, and I'm certainly going to link to him in the description below, courtesy of Highflyer 15. And here's something I really shouldn't have done, cursed my team. It's not very nice, and that was a scumbag move of me. But I was pissed, and I'd already racked up 5 kills. And at this time, I've probably done twice the amount of damage anyone on my team has done. So I've got a right to be pissed. But then again, this is tier 2, tier 3, so they've probably not played too many games yet. So I move up on the hill, and as you can see, the camera is always doing exactly what I've been doing in the game, and I'm going to explain that in just a moment, because there's a Panzer 38T waiting to be taken out. There we go. Alright, basically what I'm thinking is, if you can see exactly what I'm doing, then you've got the opportunity to say, oh, that's what he saw, therefore he did this. And other players such as Jingle, such as Highflyer 15, who are again certainly better than I am, pan the camera around and show you what's happening. Now I'm not going to do that, because basically that's my responsibility in the game and not afterwards. And I hope it gives you some perspective. Alternatively, it could just show you what an incredible idiot I am for not doing what I should be doing. But that's a risk I've got to take. So I'm now on 7 kills, and 7 kills is the most that I've ever gotten up until this point. I'm going to get one more kill, spoiler alert. And I've also gotten a 9th kill in a game just recently in my Hellcat, and since they're nerfing the Hellcat, I'm playing the Hellcat as much as I can to get as many games in, as many good games, as many excellent games as I possibly can, and I'll be putting them up very soon. And this game is basically won. I shouldn't have mowed down that tree, that was stupid, but I know that Artie can't do anything anymore, because there's one T-57 and oop, there's another one. I auto-aim, which is again perfectly fine. I'm going to be firing at his butt. I move up behind him, finish him off, and boom! There goes the other one, just as I was about to get there. GG. Okay, so let's take a look at the post-game stats. Now, unsurprisingly, I got a mastery badge for this one. I got Top Gun, and I got High Caliber Medal, which in a Panzer 1C isn't bad. Now, we're not going to look at all the module damage, don't care, not in a Panzer 1C. I did 1047 damage, and I got 8 kills, bringing me 1162 experience. And this wasn't a double, because I'd already had my double, so that's all I got. Now, looking at the damage, I did nearly as much as my whole team put together, which isn't bad. Now, I fired a total of 456 shells, 247 of which hit and 141 of which penetrated. Given it's a machine gun, that's what you'd expect. I moved 4.05 kilometers. It's a Panzer 1C, so that's again what you'd expect, but really the point is, use the mobility of your tank if you've got it. And the Panzer 1C is a credit whore. I made nearly 16,000 credits, of which 14,000 were profit. And with that, this was my first review that I've shown you. I hope that you've taken something away from it. I hope that you've learned something. I'm certainly gonna show you a lot more, and I hope that you'll always be able to learn something. If you've got any suggestions, telling me something, how I should be doing it, what I could do better, please leave a comment on YouTube, and I'll try to get around and read it. Now, sadly, I've got a very busy life at the moment, so I can't guarantee reading it all at the time you post it, but I'm sure I'll get around to it. And with that, cheerio!